victims.
The fact that concentration camps are now an institutionalized practice in the home of the free is extraordinarily disturbing.
Let me tell you what I just saw when I walked in there, okay? And by the way, I'm with an entire film crew. So I'm about to blow up this narrative in a way that the left is not expecting because they are filthy, disgusting liars. And I'm sorry that I am so angry right now, but what I just saw was astonishing. Okay, this place is nicer than where I went to the public school system. I went to Stamford, Connecticut public schools. This place is like an elementary school. There are colors on the wall everywhere. There's a nursing station that is so clean and so nice. Where they dine, they're sitting down laughing, eating food. They have people that go to the counter that can participate if they want. They can help cook if they want.
There are also some infants who are housed here with their mothers. Some of those babies were even born here.
We will have a crib for the baby and the mommy, and if two girls, two teen girls came, then they will be able to share a room. But when a mommy and me comes, we just give them a room for just the two of them.
I walked in on the women that were in their arts and crafts session. They had just concluded their fucking Zumba class, okay? In the same room that they do their fucking Zumba, they also have to do their arts and crafts, okay? That's just for the woman's side.
All these immigrants say they came because free American services and assistance are being advertised in their home countries.
They're all welcome. There is a sand volleyball court. There is a sand volleyball court, which they are all welcome to play anytime that they want to in the center of the section.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. All right, so today, I know I've been doing a lot of fun stories lately. I hope you guys have been enjoying them, but today we're gonna talk about a little bit something more political, more along the lines of what I usually do because I felt like it was really important to talk about it. I did this story for Onyx and I wanted to share it with you guys as well. But before I do, you know the drill. Go to my website at letstalkdarling.com, scroll on up to the top and follow me on all my social media platforms, then scroll on down to the bottom and make sure to enter your email address so that I can stay in contact with you and send you exclusive details like stuff I can't post on social media, discount codes for my merch, just a bunch of stuff that you guys really like to see. Anyways, also there's a donate button on there. If you so wish to donate to the channel, hit that button. You can donate one time or you can set up a recurring donation and I so appreciate it. All right, so let's get started on today's video. You saw the little clip that I inserted in here and I wanted to expand on this a little bit more because I really feel like there is still a lot of misconception around the whole immigration policy thing, and I just want to continue to educate people on this because it is a really, really big deal and it's something that's really going to impact us American citizens as we start to see an influx of people trying to migrate into this country, and obviously our current administration not wanting to do much about it, okay? First, let's start off with what this is really about. The whole immigration thing, I'm sure people think that it's about kindness, letting people into this great country, affording them the ability to make a great life. Well, that sounds really good. What it actually is about is turning the state of Texas blue, okay? Now, as you know, the state of Texas is currently a majority Republican state. It's a red state. And if it were to turn blue, that would be huge. What that would really mean is that you would never see another Republican in the White House again. So they have a huge, huge incentive to let a ton of illegal immigrants into this country, start focusing on them. Remember, in previous videos, I have said to my Black brothers and sisters that the last election, you had your chance to have your voice heard because at this point, you are now going to be replaced with the Hispanic vote, and that is fact. Those people are going to be let in here and going to be allowed to vote in the next election so that they can turn Texas blue. They want Texas to be blue because the more states that are blue, and Texas is a huge state and Texas, holds a lot of real estate in our elections, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. And I use the state of California as an example of that. The state of California wasn't always a Democratic state. It actually used to be a Republican state, but because they started to allow a lot of illegal immigration in, boom, it became a blue state. Okay? So I want to say that because I want to make it very clear that while it seems nice to think that our president really cares about these people, what he actually cares about is making sure that there's never another Republican in the White House ever again, and that his party can take full control of everything. So, as I've stated in previous videos and mentioned in posts, Biden has created a huge surge at our U.S. borders, U.S.-Mexico borders in particular. He, prior to getting elected president, campaigned on the fact that when he became president, he was going to tear down the wall that Trump built. He was going to undo all of his immigration policies. He was going to give free healthcare to illegal immigrants. He was going to give them free COVID screenings. He was going to give them amnesty. He was going to give them asylum. And also he was going to throw in a couple of free COVID relief checks, stimulus payments. In case you didn't know, yes, illegal immigrants got stimulus payments as well. In fact, I think they got more than you and I did. So he came through with that promise, and he has a line of people lined up at the border. Some of them have already come through, and they're now having to build additional facilities. They have constructed what they're calling like a soft cell or tent areas on the outside of the main ICE detention facilities, and this is where they're housing mainly children. Okay, now the children have been a huge topic because a lot of people, made it a point to criticize Trump that he was locking up children, that he didn't care, and that just wasn't the case. You guys have to understand that these children come across the border because either they are sent on their own because they have a better chance of coming over, and guess what? If they're over, then a parent can come over. They get sold to strangers, okay, as pawns to come across the border, or they do come with their parents and sometimes get separated, and that's how they end up in these ICE detention centers by themselves. So while it is a very, very sad situation, that is the reality. Now, these particular centers, some of them are more geared towards housing children than others, but these particular centers can hold up to 700 teens in them, and they cost $775 per day per child. Now that blew my mind because I'm going to say that again, $775 per day and per child. So multiply that per day per times 700 kids, and ask yourself this: if you have children, do you spend $775 per day on your child, on your own flesh and blood? Do you spend $775 per day? I personally do not. But I will tell you this. I want everybody, and I'm going to put a clip in here so that you can see for yourself, and I will link a video below. But I want everybody to go to a video that Candace Owens did a couple years back. I think maybe it was like 1 or 2 years ago, where she went to a ICE detention facility, I believe it was in Florida, and toured the facility, okay? And what she saw there, you guys, blew her mind. And let me tell you why it blew her mind, because all she had been hearing was what we had been hearing was that, these detention facilities were just terrible places. The living conditions were awful. We saw the pictures of people sleeping in cages, literal cages with like the little foil blankets over them. And P.S., those pictures are actually from back when Obama was president. They actually used old pictures to post when they were criticizing Trump for enforcing the immigration laws that Obama created in the first place. But I digress, okay? When Candace went to the facility, she saw that they had things like Pilates classes, okay? That they had schedules on the wall so that all the inmates who roam freely throughout the facility, they're not in cages, okay? They walk around freely. They could do a Pilates class, which I believe was open from certain hours to certain hours. They could go to a library. They could do yoga. They had a full volleyball and tennis court for them to play in. Or if you wanted to make a phone call, the phones were open several hours per day so they could make phone calls. I mean, it was basically a mini vacation on the taxpayers, out of the taxpayers' pocket, okay? So the reason for her doing that was to expose the truth, was to show people that what the media was trying to portray to you as these detention facilities basically being like, Auschwitz 2019, 2020 was completely false. These places are where these people want to be while they transition to the US, because it's 10 times better where they're coming from, okay? Now, I read an article, and that's what prompted me to talk about this and why I was talking about it on Onyx, where they started out the article talking about a woman who had crossed the border in labor and was giving birth in a border hospital, so on the American side, but on the border hospital. And her and her child were taken to a detention facility. They were placed in a cell together. The lights were on. It was a very, very traumatic, situation for a newborn child to be in. She states that she had to ask them for diapers and wipes on a constant basis. She had to sleep on the floor. None of that stuff I really believe, to tell you the honest truth. But at any rate, one might have to ask, or one should ask themselves, why would a mother who cares about her child and cares about her well-being risk her life and risk the life of her child to cross the border to come to a hospital to give birth there? Knowing, it's not like she's just blindly going. I'm sure there's stories, okay, of what people have gone through doing this. Why would she do that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the hospitals where she comes from, which she was coming from Mexico, but she was actually a Cuban immigrant. So she initially started in Cuba, migrated to Mexico, and I'll explain that in a second. Actually, I'll explain it right now. The reason being is they used to be able to come directly from Cuba, but Obama did away with the, oh my gosh, what was the policy called? Wet foot, dry foot policy or something like that. It was a really weird name for a policy, but anyways, he did away with it, which meant they could no longer come directly through Cuba on the boats and land on the beach, and then boom, they're here and it's a party all day. Okay, no. Now they have to go from Cuba to Mexico, and from Mexico take the foot trip into the United States. Okay, so the situation in their countries is so bad that they are willing to go through all of that to end up in a detention center where I guarantee you they are taken care of very well. I guarantee you that mother and her baby had everything they needed to survive, including a warm place to sleep, because I'm pretty sure if she would have given birth in a hospital in Mexico, not only would she have to have paid for everything that they used on her, but they would have sent her to her home or wherever she came from, which probably was a rat-infested, bacteria-infested, cold, no heat in this time of year, no blankets. She probably wouldn't have diapers for her child. So don't be fooled by what they are telling you. I really highly suggest you click on the link in my description box. I'm gonna put a few links in there actually for you guys to see, how the media actually used to portray these detention centers honestly, and show what they really look like, okay? They have everything there. They didn't give much coverage to when First Lady Melania went to a detention facility and toured that as well. The people there were super, super happy, okay? I have an uncle who works in border security, and he himself has said, these people love getting detained by us because they get to eat, they get to be warm, they get to be safe. They don't have to fear for their lives from where they came from. So, I'm making this video because I really need you guys to know that truth and understand what the real intention is behind what President Biden is trying to do by letting all of these immigrants in. And understand that when President Trump was doing this, all he was saying was, hey, I understand you want to come over here. I understand you want to seek asylum. I get that, okay? But you're going to have to wait in your home country until your trial comes up and we can assess your case, and then you can come over legally. But in the meantime, wait over there, okay? That would be like if you went to a restaurant and there was a 30-minute wait, But they said, okay, well, you know what? Just come on in anyways and just sit. I mean, I know there's a wait. I know there's people in front of you, but just come sit down at a table. And you know what? Drinks on us, meal on us. You don't have to tip the waiter. You don't have to do anything. Just come take over. That's exactly what Biden's trying to do. Is he's saying you don't have to wait. We're going to legally hold you in these detention centers for 30 days because that's how long the law says I have to hold you for. But then the law says I have to release you. Catch and release. Remember that? So we used to release them back into their country. Now Biden's going to release them back into our country. Not back, but he's going to release them into our country. And guess what? While they wait for their trial, if they even show up for their court date, they are living off of your dime and my dime. So that is the facts. I want you guys to know, and I definitely want to know what you guys think. I hope I shed some more light into this issue for you. I hope that you take the time to go check out the links that I posted below in my description box. And give me your thoughts. Like, you know, are you somebody who is now starting to see the light on what the immigration thing is really going to do to our economy, to our employment? It's going to kill us, you guys. I mean, what's going on at the border is just a small piece of it. These people are going to come in and tax our healthcare system. They're going to take jobs from people, okay? They're going to use up resources, whether that be governmental resources and whatnot. They're going to, you know, expect handouts. It's a disaster. It's a mess. But let me know what you guys think in the comments box below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share this video. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much and have a good one. Bye-bye.